Have you heard of the Super Bowl conspiracy?
Nah, what are they talking about?
I'm sure you have, but you just don't
Refresh
recall.
my memory. Refresh my memory.
On November 7th of last year, 2023, a Twitter account, the Twitter account NFL Memes, tweeted a picture of the Super Bowl logos of the last 3 years, including this year's, with the captions, "Has anyone noticed this?" and the pondering emoji face.
Mm-hmm.
The previous two logos ended up having the primary colors of the participating teams in them, which were the Rams and Cincinnati, and then the one before that, the one after that, was the Eagles and the Chiefs. Well, this year's primary colors is predicting that the Ravens and the 49ers are going to be in the Super Bowl. So my question to you, the script conspiracy theory has been at an all-time high for the last 4 or 5 years, last 3 years for sure. So my question is, how do you feel about conspiracies in sports at this point?
There has been talks around football and basketball, the NFL and NBA being quote unquote scripted.
Yeah.
It would be very, very, excuse me. It would be very, very hard to script that. I feel like I don't personally believe in the script. I mean, I make jokes about it all the time, but I don't personally believe in the script. I think it would be very hard to personally script something that humans have a bearing on, especially when there's money involved. But it is entertainment, and you can look at it as, are they acting for real? But I mean, there's a lot of things that you can say about the quote unquote script of the NFL. But I did see a post that said, I'm gonna have to look it up while we're still talking about it, but I did see the post about, there was a post that said something about Lamar Jackson playing in the Super Bowl, but it was like they hadn't even played the second round of the playoffs yet. But it was something about Lamar Jackson being in the Super Bowl, and I'm like,
yeah, it was
foreshadowing much, like, you know what I'm saying?
It was a screenshot of some. It was a screenshot of some news station that had a halftime thing. So it had Post Malone and Usher performing at the San Francisco 49ers and Baltimore Ravens Super Bowl, and that was 2 weeks ago.
Right? Yeah. That's what I saw. Yeah. But I was like, bro, really? Like, hello? Yeah. But that could be foreshadowing from the logo too, because it does have purple and red in the logo. So it's like, hey,
right. Yeah.
So I mean, is there a script? I don't believe that there is, but I think that there's a lot of manipulation that goes on as far as how these teams and these organizations and these television stations would think that what's going to make the most money. So there could be some manipulation in it, but I don't think that it's all around the whole 32 teams in the NFL is scripted. But I think there is some manipulation in things, though. I do kind of believe that. What you think?
Yeah.
You think there's a script?
So I have long believed that there is pre-planning, air quotes. Okay. I'll put those in air quotes, when it comes to who wins sports events. But this is really after tragic events that happen in certain areas, more so than scripts that are being passed out in the NFL. And I can get into more of that, but it will take over the whole conversation that we're having right now. Right. But to me, it's like you said, it's too many moving parts to coordinate a script going on in the NFL. The website overthecap.com reports that on average, only 50% of players return from year 1 to year 2, and it drastically goes down from 2 and beyond, right? So that means that there's a lot of players moving in and out of the NFL that were on an NFL roster, that could have possibly gotten their hand on these hypothetical scripts that going into year 2, 3, or 1 to 2 are upset because they're not on an NFL roster and they hold a grudge. We would have heard in mass by now that the NFL is scripted and rigged. We know of a few individuals that have played in NFL, and they've never said anything.
Me included, and I've never heard anything about it.
Exactly.
I wasn't there long, but I was there long enough to realize that there was a script. I was there from March till August, so like of 07. So in those 5 or 6 months, I couldn't have figured out if there was a script or not.
Right. So for me, I find it hard to believe that there is a script that is going on in NFL. The NFL prior to Super Bowl, what was it? Super Bowl, I think Super Bowl 46.
Okay.
So prior to Super Bowl 46, they had logos for the Super Bowl. From Super Bowl II to Super Bowl 46, they had logos for the Super Bowl with the trophy and the Roman numerals, and then sometimes it would have a nod to the host city that the Super Bowl was in via like some shape around the Roman numerals or within the Roman numerals for the host city. And then then after 46, they moved to just a standard logo in commemoration of like Super Bowl 50 was gold. And then after that, it was some other logos. Then they recently on Super Bowl 56 went back to the Lombardi trophy and the Roman numerals with some nod to the host city. So like in LA, it was palm trees and stuff like that. And then it had the Rams colors, which is ironic. And then the Bengals colors. But, California, sunshine. What does sunshine?
Red and oranges,
and red and yellow. So, and then last year, where was it at last year? Remember.
Was it in Arrowhead?
No, they're not playing it.
They're not playing at Arrowhead. That's true. It's Kansas City. It's cold as hell. I know it. Exactly.
Where was it last year? I know this year's in Vegas. So the purple and gold, that's like for me.
It was in Atlanta. It was in Atlanta last year.
Okay. So red, I don't know what green would represent from Atlanta, but I mean, things aren't always a matter of coincidence. There is some, I said that earlier in the podcast, but there is some reason for why things are done. But even by saying that, I don't think that there's a script to where they're already predicting that the 49ers and the Ravens are going to be in the Super Bowl. However, I did say, and we said in the podcast 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, when we talked about the NFL playoffs, that the favorites, the far out favorites were the 49ers and the Ravens to be in the Super Bowl because of how they played this year in the record. So barring any injuries, I still expect that to be, and I don't think it's going to be any conspiracy to that.
I don't think so either. I don't think it's a conspiracy. I think the Ravens are playing amazingly. I think the 49ers are playing amazingly. I don't think it'll be any conspiracy behind it. I think those are just the two best teams that are in the playoffs right now, and they will make it to the Super Bowl. I don't think there's any conspiracy. But again, I mean,
they still got to play tomorrow.
They still got to play, and do broadcasts and these organizations make money off of what they think will be the best matchup and who they think will watch the most and how much money they will make? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is why we talked about Alabama getting into the playoff, but that's neither here nor there. But we shall see whenever, these games play tomorrow. And
that's different though.
But it still has to do with the money though, Dino.
It does. But in that aspect, Alabama had to be selected.
True.
It was a committee that had to select them.
That is true. That's true. Yeah. That's true. You got a point. You got a point. But do the committee got to go with the broadcast? No, I'm just being facetious.
Yeah, I'm trying it. Because they actually have to physically play on the field,
exactly,
and decide who goes to the Super Bowl.
But then the broadcast and the organization is going to tell the refs to call it this way. Then I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
I mean, we know that there are cases where referees have gotten into some type of
100%. 100%.
And have swayed the games, but you can't sway the game that much to where, I mean, you can, but not to the point to where it dictates a team's whole season.
True. That's true. oh, y'all still here. So that must mean you love the content. And if that is the case, there's a video on the screen right here. Go ahead and click that, view that. We think you're going to love that one as well. And we still have our 600 subscriber goal. So there's a button on the screen right here. Go ahead and click that to subscribe to the channel. And we're on all your streaming platforms, wherever you find your podcasts.